Yeah, and two, I'm looking at correlation coefficient as well, and the correlation coefficient is picking up debris. So.
So active tornado on the ground.
This thing
it's been lifting, yes, and
big.
it keeps going back.
Lexi, I mean, this thing is...
Go ahead, Jared, sorry.
Like Barrett said on the correlation coefficient, that this is doing damage. It's doing it over a pretty wide area. Definitely doing damage on the ground right now. Anything that's in its path. Back to you.
We do the double box of Max 1 with the Storm Hunter. You're good. So the debris ball is right here. Can we pause that?
Yes.
This is north of El Dorado. So far, it's still stagnant, but it's not far off from El Dorado. I mean, it's 4 miles. Thank you, Barrett. It's 4 miles north of this city. So everybody that is in El Dorado needs to be in those storm shelters, and they need to be taking those precautions. They need to be getting in the lower level of their homes, downstairs, underneath something, center part of your home, and keeping away from windows, because we have this tornado, and it's pretty violent. Showing the couplet, Barrett, if we can go to that now. I mean, this is a very intense tornado. Not only do we can have that just signature of a radar hook here, but also the velocity couplet on this is wicked tight. And Jared and Justin are directly west of this tornado, or at least the tornado is west of them. They are east. I mean, it's growing and intensifying, as you can see. Let's go back to just the Storm Hunter right now, and we'll check back to radar here. But I mean, this is a massive tornado as it does continue to just use up all the atmosphere when it comes to the energy. There's a lot of that moisture in place. There's nothing stopping this storm from growing. There's a lot of energy being fed into this storm. So everybody needs to be taking their tornado safety precautions. Hopefully you are already in your safe spaces and you are not actively going there now, especially with this storm. Hopefully it's just over open air, and there's just some fields and farmland out there, and there's no houses. So we're gonna hopefully that is the case here. But you can see some of the, I don't see any debris on the outside, so that's at least some good news there. I know Jared and Justin have kind of been watching this.
And you can also see what I was talking about earlier, just how fast the structure of it changes. You know, you notice how much the condensation funnel has thinned now. You do notice that this is more of an elephant trunk tornado now, but you still have this broad winds blowing that dust and rain and whatnot. And you also see a satellite tornado right in there. And so these things, they change very, very quickly. Multiple vortices.
And it doesn't stay on the ground for long either. I know it's still on the ground, but they haven't been staying on the ground for
Lexi, this thing's coming towards us. We're getting out of here.
Sounds good. Stay safe. Let us know when you're out of there. We'll check back in with you guys later. So it is lifting a little bit. There's still multiple vortices, though, with that particular storm. You can kind of see how that motion is just twisting and turning, and there's multiple different areas of circulation with that tornado. There's one right there that just touched down again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like octopus tentacles just going around.
That's a great way to describe it, Barrett. So Storm Hunter is going to be getting into a safer location. You can see where they are here. What is that highway? 50, that's not 54.
This one here, 44?
44.
That goes through Duke? 62, that's 62.
No, east-west is 62. What's this one? That's so small,
34,
I can't read
north
it.
to south, yes.
34. So they're on Highway 34 near that tornado. So here's where the Storm Hunter is located. Here's where that tornado is currently located. So we're going to check back in with them and just, nope, you're good. Cell service really isn't the greatest down there. So they're going to get to safety, and then we're going to check back in with them in just a little bit. But in the meantime, we still have a very active and dangerous situation ongoing across parts of Southwest Oklahoma. Let's reset for those folks that are maybe just tuning in with us, or maybe you're wondering, where is this tornado warning, and do I need to take shelter? Does my family need to stay safe? Can we go to the Southwest Oklahoma view?
Yes.
Okay, the city of Lawton is right here, and there's even some lightning now being extended as far into Cotton County as well as southern Comanche County. So there's no rain ongoing here in Comanche County, but you probably hear some thunder, maybe see a lightning strike or two, and this is just kind of extending. A bolt from the blue is what this is called. Sometimes it's a little bit further, but nonetheless, there's nothing going on for Highway 81, Wichita Falls. Folks, you are also dry right now. Granfield, you're dry. Vernon, this activity is north of you, and these storms have been pretty stagnant just west of 183. So let's go back to where we had that tornado warning that is actively in place, as it's been an observed tornado on the ground with multiple vortices. And people, I hope you are taking those safety precautions if you happen to be anywhere in this red polygon because of the ongoing situation that is happening right now. It's not a strong tornado by any means, but it is still producing funnels that are landing on the ground, thus causing the tornado. And they've been just kind of popping up and down, and they've been cycling for quite some time now. I mean, at least for what, 10, 20, 15 minutes? We've kind of been having this cycling of multiple vortices. So they're heading south on Highway 34. We'll check back in with them, but it's very dark and very ominous on this side, as you can see where they are. Alessi, you are in this tornado warning. It's towards the west of you. Can we do a how far away that is, and also track this out? It's still stalled, right? It really hasn't moved that much.
Not very much. They're still calling it pretty much stationary. They this new one they came out with it says east at 15. So east at 15 is the most updated movement.
Yeah, it's been at east at 15, I think, since like 6:45.
And so you can see it's only about 5 to 7 miles away, just west of the Old Sea area.
Oh, let's see. So, yep. So Highway 34 crossing right now. There's a few cars on the road. I don't know if those are storm spotters or just people having fun this Thursday night. Elmer, if this continues, you're going to be on track to be next in line for that tornado warned storm. So I would think about taking those safety precautions, getting to the lowest level of your homes, making sure you're away from windows, underneath something, and in the center part of your house. So Elmer, I would start thinking about those tornado safety precautions, getting to your safe spaces. Now is the time to do it. It's 7:25. We still have active and ongoing tornadoes, folks. So this is definitely something you don't want to just wait for a tornado warning to be issued. Alessi, I would probably do the same thing because latest scans move it more east now.
Correct.
And if that is the case, then this is definitely going to hit Alessi head on. So 44, just south of 62, need to be in your shelters, and hopefully you guys have been there for a while. I know the storm has been very slow. It's only been moving at about 15 miles per hour or so, but it now looks like it's gaining momentum and passing over Highway 34. So
and it is a PDS situation too.
Okay. PDS meaning particularly dangerous?
Yes, correct, from the National Weather Service.
So Alessi, in the tornado warning, observed tornado, by the way. It's now just crossing over Highway 34. Can't see it from the Storm Hunters feed. It's rain wrapped at this point. But Alessi, get to your safe spaces. Get to your storm shelters, your friends' storm shelters, your neighbors. If you have friends or family that happen to be in Alessi, I would give them a phone call and let them know that they have a tornado that is not far from them. How How long is this going to take to get to the city of Alesi?
Let's see here.
It's moving at what, 15 miles an hour?
15. I am making it right now. So it says 7:51, but
So
again,
half
the
an
movement
hour,
can change.
less than half an hour.
Yeah.
But I mean, this storm has started to pick up a little bit more motion towards the east. Remember, it's been for about 45 minutes now. This storm has been very stagnant and it's been stalled and just kind of lingering in the same area. But it seems to be moving a little bit more now as it crosses over Highway 34. And that debris ball, it's still relative here just towards the east of Highway 34. So safety precautions, Alesi, folks, family, friends, if you have anyone and know anyone that happens to be in that town, give them a call, give them a heads up, tell them what is ongoing because there's been tornadoes, multiple tornadoes produced from this particular storm. And it's not just the tornadoes that we have to worry about this evening, it's also some hail too, as we have some not as large hail as what we have had a little bit ago, but Duke right now, just towards the south of you are seeing some of that stronger or some larger hail. Radar indicating only about quarter to pea-sized. The good news is that Hook does not seem to be as strong, but Alesi, do not let your guard down. Do not let your guard down. This is still about 7 miles northwest of you. Elmer, as well, you're not in the tornado warning right now, but I would definitely be mindful and start thinking about what your plan and what your action plan is going to be when you have that warning issued. I mean, heck, even get there now, folks. Give yourself that time to be prepared, help alleviate some of that anxiety. And for those of you that are in your storm shelters currently, I mean, sticking with us here at First Alert 7 Weather, we have Jared and Justin out in the Storm Hunter, powered by Apache Casino Hotel. They're right now just south of where this tornado has been observed. And I mean, we just saw moments ago the multiple vortices with this particular tornado. Is that a flash flood warning? That's a darker red, so yes.
It may be. Let me look on the...
It almost looked black, so that threw me off.
Yeah, it's a flash flood warning in effect for parts of Greer, Harlan, and Jackson counties.
Okay.
Let me go over here and zoom out a little bit.
So on top of while you're getting that, on top of the observed tornado warning that we have, we also can't forget about the fact that there are severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing surrounding this entire tornado warned storm. I mean, Mangum, you've been seeing some rain for quite some time. Altus, you're also in this severe thunderstorm warning. Elmer, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. Hazards have been the large hail. It's been those damaging winds. These storms so far seem to be pretty slow moving, but with that said, they seem to be picking up momentum and speed as they move further towards the east. Jared, we haven't checked in with you in a little bit. I see that you're driving on Highway 34.
Oh.
Lexi. Yeah. Hey, Lexi, it is back on the ground. I'm having some fogging issues with my camera, but there you can see it right there. We're going up Highway 34. There is damage. We've got some power lines down across Highway 34. So we're in the RFD right now. We're going to try to get north and start getting in the Olustee area, but it is back on the ground after it's crossed Highway 34. And there, like I said, there is damage. Several power lines are down, so we're having to negotiate those a little bit. But as you can see, there is a tornado back on the ground.
Okay, so the tornado is on the ground, plus there's down power lines. Yeah, you can kind of see the damage as they are rolling on 34. Can you go a little bit further south on that shot, Jared? Down is the correct word for that, not south. My apologies. So there is the tornado right there.
Yeah, very well structured, for sure.
Very well structured.
Yeah, we're not talking about octopus tentacles as of now, but you do
No.
notice a well-developed tornado there in the background.
That has definitely intensified from those octopus tentacles that we were seeing earlier. Multiple vortices. That is no longer appears to be the case. There's still a lot of clouds. Can we just go up a little bit more up on that shot? Thank you. There's some clouds here, but I mean, the funnel itself is right in here. And there has been some damage from this particular tornado. We just saw the storm hunter pass over some down power lines. Hopefully that is the extent of the damage today, and we don't have any more reports, but you know, our thoughts and prayers are going to be with those that maybe have other reports of damage if it did happen to hit any homes. I know this isn't a completely populated area, but nonetheless, this is still a very dangerous and ongoing tornado that is moving towards the east. Alessi, you need to be safe and bunker down. Do not move. Do not try to go somewhere at this point. Get to the center part of your home. Keep away from windows, making sure that you have plenty of walls from you to the outside, and making sure that you also have these notifications that are ongoing, because we're going to continue to get you through this tornado as it does continue to be moving into Jackson County. You can see how strong these winds are. All of these trees are just being blown into the direction of where this funnel and where that tornado is currently located. Where are they in respect to this tornado? Can we double box?
That's the last update anyways, not to say that, yep, it just moved. So they are getting signaled to move.
Can we zoom in on Max and show? So yeah, the tornado's towards the right of them, to the east of them.
Yeah, I'll circle it.
Right in here, right behind me. Yeah, the right there is where that tornado is currently located. So the storm hunter is towards the west now of this funnel and this active tornado that is on the ground. Is it still moving east at 15 miles per hour?
Yeah, the last time I checked. I'll check again. Yes, east at 25, east at 25.
Okay, so oh man, it definitely has increased in potential then. Because it was moving at 15 miles per hour. Now it's gained speed and is moving 10 miles per hour faster at 25. So Alessi, this is not far from the city. You guys need to be taking those safety precautions. Hopefully you guys are hunkered down. You're watching us. You're making sure that you are in the center part of your home. You've gotten the kids. You've gotten the dogs. You've gotten your other animals. And you guys are all just kind of safe and listening, waiting for that all clear. But for the time being, it's going to be a while. It's still going to be a little bit before we see this tornado dissipate, because this has been an ongoing tornado for a little bit of time.
Yeah, and still see some very good couplets here with the velocity. I'll go ahead and take a look, and you can see the debris ball right there. So the well-developed debris ball.
This thing is definitely picking up something, whether it's farm equipment. Hopefully it's not homes. Pray that it is not homes or structures of any means. But the debris ball itself, can we zoom in? Because what is that, Marty?
Yeah, it's between Ulcey and Prairie Hill.
Yeah, so Marty is right here. Then we have Prairie Hill. That's over here. This is where that debris ball is located. This is that tornado that is picking up a lot of dirt, dust, tree limbs. It could be picking up structures, shingles, roofs, whatever the case may be, and it's being elevated into the atmosphere, and it is creating that signature debris ball. And it did move over Highway 34 not too long ago. So what is that? I would probably say 3 miles northwest of Alessi. New tornado warning is going to include the city of Altus.
Here we go.
It's expected to approach Altus by 8 o'clock tonight on the west side. No, I know. Still on the ground. It's getting rain wrapped though at this point. So what's that, 4 miles away,
Yes.
Barrett?
Yes. We do have another update here from the National Weather Service. Broadcast media confirmed tornado. Of course, a damaging tornado on the ground right now. It is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. This is effect till 8:15. That's about another 45 minutes or another 40 minutes. But this is in effect for central Jackson County, south central Kiowa County, northwestern Tillman County, and southeastern Greer County.
Let's get a look at radar. Because the newest tornado warning does include the city of Altus. It now includes Elmer. Hedrick, you're also in this, and Tipton, you're on the cusp of it. But hey, this has momentum, and it is starting to move, but that hook is no longer as prominent as it was before, say 20, 30, 40 minutes ago. So the tornado is still on the ground, but by all means, it's now becoming rain-wrapped and hard to see. Jared, you guys are on this storm. You're on Highway 34. You've been tracking it for a while now, as it has been on the ground. Anything new that you guys are seeing? I can see some hail that's falling.
Yeah, we're getting hit by some hail, Lexi. So we were going to take Prairie Hill Road over to the highway over towards Olustee, but looking at radar, this thing is starting to take a little bit of a northeastern turn. So Olustee is going to be a little bit safer. We're going to go to US 62 and go east. This thing's going to start threatening the west side of Altus, along with the Duke area. So we're going to get on 62 and try to get to it, get past it before it crosses 62. But at the moment, we're about 2 miles, 3 miles south of Highway 62. We've lost complete sight of this from our vantage point, where it's completely wrapped in, blocked by rain in our current vantage point. So I don't have an update on where this is, but if you live in this area, you got to be in your tornado safety shelters. We're taking big hail also, so that's another issue with this storm. But if you live west of Altus or in Altus proper, go ahead and take tornado safety precautions, because this thing has taken a turn to the northeast and is heading in that direction. Back to you in the studio.
Jared, just kind of tracking this out right now. Altus, it is about 9 miles away from you. East Duke, it is about 6 miles away from you. And then Olustee, it's 4 miles towards your northwest. Altus, this is southwest of you. And then East Duke, this is towards the southeast of you. I do want to go to velocity, because I feel like at this point that's going to be our best bet to show where this tornado is located. And I mean, radar, it's wrapped in rain. We're not going to have that pretty image like what we had a little bit ago to show that area of rotation. Victory, you're also in the path of this. As Jared mentioned, it's more taking a northerly track up towards the northeast. So City of Altus, you're right here. We have Olustee right here. Prairie Hill, it's passing towards the east of you currently, and then Duke, it's towards the southeast. But Victory, you need to be in those shelters. This is still a very particularly dangerous situation going on. It's a PDS tornado, simply meaning it is strong, it is violent, and it is moving towards the northeast. So Victory and parts of Altus. Altus, you are not in the old tornado warning, but you are in a new tornado warning. So keep that in mind as it does move. Areas along 62, pretty much between Duke and Altus. Hopefully you guys have already been in your shelters for quite some time now, as this is an ongoing situation that we are going to stay on here, because this is a very violent tornado that has been on the ground for quite some time now. Barrett?
Yes, that is correct. And we'll go to the debris detection here. And you notice that the debris ball still is associated with it. And I'll zoom in and circle on it right in here. You can see it's near just to the east of Prairie Hill there, by about 3 miles, 2 or 3 miles. I'll circle the debris ball right here. And so there's definitely being debris lifted up into the atmosphere, and the radar can detect that stuff. And so Anyways, you want to go ahead and make sure that you take cover now. Get underground if you can, if you're within this tornado warning or in the path of this tornado. And also, if you can't get underground, get in the most interior room of the home and stay away from windows, because the research shows that the more walls you have between you and the elements, the more protected you'll be. If there's any room that is left standing from the tornado, it's usually always the innermost room of the home, whether it be a closet or a hallway, whatever it may be. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the velocities once again here. This continues to roll on to the east, maybe a little bit east-northeast now at about 25 miles per hour. From the National Weather Service, the last update was east at 25 miles per hour, but you can see it's now moving more east-northeast, if you will. And so, Victory, you all need to take your precautions as we speak right now. Get underground if you can. If you can't, get in the most interior room of the home. Olsey, you all need to do the same thing as well. Get underground if you can. If you can't, get in the most interior room of the home. What you all can also do is you can also put on bike helmets, baseball helmets as well, and also cover yourself up with mattresses and blankets, and that also helps to protect you and shield you from the outside debris that may come in as well. We'll take a look at the hail core here. You notice the hail core staying pretty steady, has been staying pretty steady over the last 30 minutes or so. Really, it pulses up and down a little bit, but really staying pretty steady. Looks like we do have another, it's blinking there, so maybe we have another update with this observed tornado warning. So it's moving, yeah, they changed the movement, like I said, northeast at 20 miles per hour, but everything else remains the same.
And also just to point out, it's been on the ground for 38 minutes. So it's right now 7:43.
And so this is headed toward the Victory area as we speak right now. So if you live in Victory especially, but also Olsey, you all need to do the same thing as well. Olsey, anybody that is in this observed tornado warning.
White box.
Yeah, you all need to go ahead and make sure that you get underground if you can. If you can't, the most interior room of the home.
So it started as a tornado at 7:05. It's been on the ground for 38 minutes and counting, and I don't see this kind of tapering off anytime soon. This continues to be very violent, heading towards the city of Victory, where we have just north of Altus and Highway 62. I know Harmon County has not been reporting any damage with the tornado warnings that happened previously, and right now we're getting a hold of Jackson County emergency managers and some law enforcement officers within Jackson County to see if they are seeing any damage. I'm sure there has been, unfortunately, with some of the debris balls and the velocity. I mean, this has to have hit something that has not just been farmland, which is unfortunate this evening, but nonetheless, you know, we do have that ongoing situation right now. There's that active tornado warning that is in red, and it's observed white simply because it's still on the ground, and multiple storm spotters have seen it, not just our storm spotters, but other outlets that have been in the area too. So ongoing, very dangerous situation. This tornado is rain wrapped. You're not going to be able to see it here within radar. So zooming out, I do just want to show folks who are not dealing with this ongoing tornado warning what is going on, because we have some quiet weather for many parts of Texas. I mean, just the whole entire viewing area as a whole. The only storm that we have right now is these little storms that are west of 183, and they really haven't moved that far east either. Rain is now just starting to move north of Hollister into Tillman County, as it's also extending. Lots of heavy rain too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more flash flooding warnings come down from the heavy rain and how slow these storms are moving. But it is picking up speed. It was at 15 miles per hour. Now it's up to 25 miles per hour when it comes to the wind speed of this. What's velocity showing? And then we'll look at debris ball. We'll look at the debris. So Victory, this is imminent right now. I mean, this is less than a mile away from you at this point. So Victory, get to your shelters. Hopefully you are there, and be prepared that it's going to get loud. You're going to hear those winds gusting, and they're going to increase. It's going to be scary, but don't worry, because this is moving towards the northeast, and we're going to stay on it and keep you safe here as this storm does continue to be affecting those that are in Victory, even Alessi, as it has been for the most part north of you, but it's still a very dangerous situation with this active tornado that is on the ground, and it's rain wrapped. So not only are you going to have that loud sound from the tornado and the violent rotation, but you're also going to have the very loud sound of not only the thunder and lightning, but also the heavy rainfall too, because this has been producing some frequent lightning, lots of flashes off and on, plus the heavy rainfall. Altus, here's where you are located, 283 and Highway 62. So it's the debris ball from looking at previous scans is just about to pass over Highway 62. Can we circle this? Thank you. You read my mind, Parrot. So that's where that debris ball currently is located. It's passing over Highway 62. It's between the city of Duke and it's between the city of Altus. So folks, don't let your guard down. We're still keeping an eye on this tornado as it does move more. Has it shifted more north now?
It may have. We'll go ahead and
Deviant motion.
Northeast.
Yeah, deviant motion is the fancy term for that. Typically, we see tornadoes move certain directions, but in this particular case, it started practically stalled down towards the south, and then now it's moved up towards the northeast. So you can kind of see that almost Nike swish where it has started to take the turn. So it's passing over 62 right now. Where is Jared in respect to, I know they were trying to head to 62, so they're on the back side of this.
Mm-hmm. They're still on 34, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like they're. So this is where Storm Hunter is. This is Jared and Justin. And then Alessi is here. So the rotation is right about in here. So they're a little bit behind the tornado right now, but they were at one point in a very dangerous situation. They were a little too close for comfort, so they kind of just held back a little bit, and they're just repositioning as we speak.
Yeah, they're on the intersection of State Highway 62 and State Highway 34.
Okay, let's go to the Storm Hunter. Lots of heavy rain. What else are you seeing, Jared?
Hey, Lexi, yeah, so like you said, we're on the back side of this thing. We kind of pulled over for a minute. With this thing being wrapped in rain and as violent as it was earlier, we weren't going to take a chance that as this thing began that northern turn and crossed Highway 62, we weren't going to take a chance of running into this in a rain-wrapped situation. We are creeping that way. We're trying to give it a chance to get across Highway 62. We'll get a damage report if there's any damage as it crosses Highway 62. But we're going to continue to move this way as it crosses Highway 62, and then once we get on the other side of it, we'll continue to track it as it moves north. But this thing is completely rain wrapped at this time, and we saw from my video earlier how violent it was, how big it was at times, and I don't know exactly how big it is at this moment, but based on radar, it is still very violent. The winds are still very strong, and it may be up to a mile wide. So if you're living in this area, you've got to be in a storm shelter. It's at the last check, it was doing a straight northern turn, coming straight across Highway 62 west of Altus. And so if you're living in this area and you're not in your storm shelter, you got to get there. It's still moving relatively slow, so you may have another minute or two, but it is going, and the winds with this thing, even where we're at, are extremely strong. We're just, at the moment, we're just giving it a chance to cross Highway 62 and try to get eyes back on it. Back to you in the studio.
Jared, thank you for that. Just kind of catching up on some reports and some scientific things. As of right now, given this current track, if we could go to velocity,
Yes.
I feel like radar is just useless at this point. Radar velocity just shows that couplet a lot better, and you can kind of see where that area of circulation is. Given the current track of this, as it does move more north at about 20 miles per hour, Altus, you are likely going to miss out on this area of rotation. With that said, like Jared said, this is a still violent and very dangerous situation. Everybody that is in a polygon, whether this is actually going to hit your home or not, needs to be taking those precautions. Better be safe than sorry. This does, that over the last few scans, it's tightened up just a little bit here when it comes to that couplet. And Victory, you're about to be in the path of this particular storm, or at least where that tornado is located per velocity. It's right here just on 62 as we speak. You got anything, Bert?
No, it's on Highway 62, moving north at about 20 miles per hour. I've just checked chat, and there's no really any other updates with that. We'll go to debris ball here and just see what's going on with that. Looks like the debris ball may be a little bit more fuzzy right now, but not going to put anything into that. We'll go ahead and take a look at the wind shear maybe. The wind shear is quite high. It has been quite high for quite some time. And so that's just an indication of lift being up into the storm as well. And then we can go ahead and take a look at the hail core. You notice it still has quite the hail core with it. And it looks like it's a good thing that Jared is west of not just the tornado, but the hail core as well.
It's still west of 62. Or west of Altus, excuse me.
Yeah, Altus could start seeing some hail come in pretty quickly, that's for sure.
Very, very soon, Altus will be seeing some hail. I mean, that's golf ball. I mean, I think at last check, the warning itself had 2.75-inch hail, which off the top of my head, I think is...
Baseball.
Baseball, that's what I was going to say. It's larger than tennis balls. So there are some road closures from what I'm being told. I don't know those exact roads, but there are some... roads that have been closed. They're not passable because I don't know if it's because of damage or maybe traffic kind of got a little bit too congested, but there also has been some damage of some farms and farm equipment. So we're gonna hopefully be sending someone out there, getting some more information here very, very soon for you on those details, because we still have this ongoing active situation with this tornado that is on the ground. It's been on the ground since 7:05. We're going on 50 minutes, folks, now of this tornado being very powerful and a very dangerous situation. Let's go to Jared, take his shot, because I see some flashing lights, and I don't know if that's just emergency vehicles or other vehicles that are on the side of the road. Jared, I can't hear you. For storm chasers. Okay. Well, we can just sit on Jared anyway. We don't have to let him talk. He's looking up. Lots of rain with his particular shot here. There's still some motion within the sky, so the energy is in the atmosphere, rather, is still very primed for severe weather. Lots of motion within these clouds. We've had lots of energy. I mean, this tornado has been on the ground since 7:05. It's 7:55 going on 56 right now.
Yeah, he's right there on it looking into it, because I'm looking at our storm hunter locator here with the reflectivity. And so that right there is about as close as you could get comfortably anyways.
So let's go to max 1, Jason.
I'll circle the center of circulation. Center of circulation about right in here.
So they're just about to get to the backside. It's not going to be a view like what we saw earlier. We're not going to be able to see those multiple vortices or even see that tornado on the ground because this is rain wrapped. I mean, just look at how much rain right now is falling. This is east of the tornado. But I do see a lot of frequent lightning from Jared's shot, so I don't want to stray away from that quite yet. Also, now just getting reports of golf ball sized hail in Altus. Thank you for that, Tyler. Altus being right behind me over here. So here's the city of Altus. Here's 62 as you head west towards Duke. And there is that area of circulation. And then that Storm Hunter probably just a few miles behind it. It is not far, but we're not going to be able to get a pretty picture of this thing like we did last time. It is rain wrapped. It is going to be hard to see. And that's the unfortunate part with this too, especially if you're trying to, figure out where exactly is this tornado. Let's go to velocity because I feel like that's going to be our best bet right now to show off where this storm is located. It's died down in velocity, which is great. That may mean this tornado is weakening and is no longer on the ground, but we're not going to take that chance. We are not going to take that chance, folks, and neither should you. I think everybody who is still within Duke, Prairie Hill, Victory, the city of Altus, Blair, you are not in a tornado warning right now, but give it may, if it moves more northeast, then yes, you will be extended into a new tornado warning. If it doesn't, it does look like there's an update to that, Barrett.
Yes, with the larger observed tornado warning, broadcast media confirms a damaging tornado and tennis ball size hail, and this is moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. The location of the tornado located between Altus and Duke with erratic motion is what they're saying. This is for central Jackson, south central Kiowa, northwestern Tillman, and southeastern Greer counties.
And it's moving northeast at 20, you said?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, some scans suggest that it may be weakening, especially the latest scans. But given the energy right now, I mean, another tornado could quickly form. I mean, we have some very broad rotation just north of Olesi, and again, vertical integrated liquid, storm energy. How much potential storm could these storms, just fire back up into the atmosphere? And sitting over Altus right now, that four corners of 283 and 62, there is a lot of storm energy, potential storm energy at that. So something could quickly develop, even though that area of circulation that had that tornado on the ground for quite some time. I mean, this was, what did you say, Jason? Yes, so Jared's got some damage. We're gonna go to him.
Let's go this way?
Yeah, let's go up here to this house.
Hold on. You gotta get around this.
Jared, what do you see?
Lexi, yeah, so we're here at this intersection. I'll try to find out exactly where I'm at. But this is where the damage, this is where the tornado has crossed. Here's
Road 196.
We're at County Road 196. There's several power lines down. They're across the road again, just like they were earlier. There's a structure up here, that we're gonna take a look at and see. It looks like some other storm chasers have also stopped up here. But this whole area right where we are has taken damage, including this house. Got a trailer house that was sitting right here, and you can see the damage that this tornado has caused as it went across this area. I'm not sure if anyone's been able to get up there and check on them. There's several storm chasers that came up here, and they're all leaving now, so hopefully this house is empty, or these people were inside a shelter whenever the tornado hit. But this area took a direct hit from this tornado. Like I said, several power lines, but the worst of it's right here with this trailer house that has taken major damage. Back to you in the studio.
All right, we'll go ahead and take it to velocity and maybe keep his shot in the left side of the screen. But you notice that the circulation has weakened somewhat, but it doesn't mean that it can't ramp back up. This storm's been cycling for quite a bit. There's a look at the storm, as you can see, rain wrap definitely, but here we go. There's the velocities, and you can see on the velocities that things have really calmed down as far as the circulation is concerned. Not saying, once again, that it can't ramp back up, so you still need to take it very seriously and keep weather aware whenever it comes to this. But you do notice some gustier winds now outflowing toward the Altus area, and heavy rainfall as well. Also up to, I believe it was a tennis ball size hail that was associated with this warning. And once again, we'll go ahead and take a look at the correlation coefficient here, and notice the correlation coefficient, that debris ball has went away. But again, not to say that it can't ramp back up and recycle back up. We'll go ahead and take a look at the hail core. Here's a look at the hail core. A lot of hail, large hail, getting to the Altus area, probably well larger than golf ball size. But Altus is getting pummeled with the hail as we speak right now. And this hail, yeah, up to tennis ball size hail. So up to tennis ball size hail moving to Altus as we speak right now. So Altus getting kind of the hail portions of this storm as this storm continues to move on to the east there. We'll go ahead and take a look at exactly what's going on area-wide. You do notice that a lot of southwest Oklahoma really not seeing too much. It's just this cluster of storms over here. Kind of got two kind of clusters of storms. I'll circle them for you to separate them out. You got this supercell here, which has been allowing that activity to recycle.
We're going to switch, actually. We got some video of the tornado from earlier coming up here, plus we're on the phones with emergency managers. We're trying to get a hold of a few other counties when it comes to the ongoing situation that is happening right now. We have an update to this tornado warning that now includes the city of Altus, parts of Tillman County, and I believe a small sliver of Kiowa County.
Yes. You do notice that this is still producing a lot of heavy rainfall, a lot of frequent lightning, and that hail core getting into Altus as we speak right now. Up to tennis ball size hail is the case. And you do notice that a little bit further to the west, that's where that area of circulation was at. It looks like it's weakened quite a bit, but you notice some gusty winds coming into Altus, especially the south
Tipton
side of Altus
especially.
as we speak right now, yes. And is this severe thunderstorm warning associated with 60-mile-per-hour wind gust?
Let me look for you.
I believe that it is.
Golf ball in 60.
Yes, golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour
Martha,
wind
Friendship,
gust.
Air Force Base in Altus, Duke, and Hester are involved in that.
Yes, and that's along State Highway 62 and just to the north there. But nonetheless, it really has been an active night, and you can take a look here on the left side of your screen. Our Storm Hunter, powered by Apache Casino and Hotel, is showing some of the damage that unfortunately has been left behind from the tornado a little bit earlier. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at the reflectivity as this continues to move on to the east. You do notice that the debris detection really is not detecting anything as of right now. It was earlier, that's the debris ball right there. It got into State Highway 62, crossed it, and then kind of fizzled away there. But nonetheless, still a dangerous storm that's moving east at 20 miles per hour, and it's still tornado warned. So you still need to take it seriously. If you live within this tornado warned area, you need to go ahead and get into your storm safety shelter, if you will, your tornado safe space, underground if you can. If you can't, in the most interior room of the home. Maybe we can zoom in here and take a look at the communities that's in this new tornado warning. Notice Altus and Hendrick in this tornado warning as of right now, State Highway 62, and I believe that's State Highway. But anyways, that continues to move to the east at about 20 miles per hour, and we do have a lot of heavy rainfall, frequent lightning. You can see some of that lightning in the background there with the Storm Hunter, and you can see some people starting to walk around that area as well. But you notice some circulation now around the Altus area. It's still pretty broad, but nonetheless, you do notice that it does have a little bit of a wind shear with it, and that's basically just how much motion the storm has rising as it goes up. But nonetheless,
and Barrett, real quick, too, this is where that tornado that was on the ground, it started at 7:05 6:05, and they're putting an end time on it at 7:57. So it was on the ground for 52 minutes. It has since weakened as it did move over 62. And we actually have video of that. If you want to step off the screen real quick, we can actually queue up the storm, because where Jared and Justin are currently located, I mean, that's where. Not yet. So we'll get to them here really quickly, but when we do, it's going to be that tornado, and that's why we are still live on air. That's why we are still live on Facebook and streaming on the app, because this was a very dangerous tornado that moved through Texoma earlier, and I mean that rotation here and that wind shear was very, very strong as it moved between Olesi and Duke, and then eventually Olesi and Altus. But there's a new area of rotation that's just south of Altus that has prompted this tornado warning. So Barrett, they're gonna give us a little bit before we can pull up the video of that tornado warning that tornado from earlier.
Yeah, that's right. We do have a radar indicated rotation with this storm. It's over Altus right now. It continues to move to the east, I believe, at about 20 miles per hour. And you can see the circulation is pretty broad, but nonetheless, the storm does have a history of producing a tornado on the ground, like what Lexi said, for about 50 minutes. And so go ahead and take this very, very seriously. You notice a swath of this about 5 miles there. And so Altus getting in a lot of hail, and you could also see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour as well as this continues to move on to the east. The center of the hail core right over the town of Altus as we speak right now. There's State Highway 62 right in there, and we also have State Highway, I believe that's 283 right there, and so just a lot of heavy hail across these areas. And once again, you know, here in Lawton, we actually had experienced that last night, so we definitely know what that's like. But Altus experiencing that as we speak right now, and this storm continues to move to the east at about 20 miles per hour. And you start to see some city roads here and some state highways as well, but the main two is State Highway 283 from north to south, and then State Highway 62 from east to west. If we can zoom out and maybe go back to the velocities, you do notice that the center of circulation, maybe just on the south side of Altus and over Altus maybe, but you do notice that it's moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour. Hendrick, you're actually in this tornado warning as well. And we do have an update with that new severe thunderstorm warning as well.
So here's just a look at radar while I look at the details about the severe thunderstorm warning. For those folks that are maybe out towards the east, Cotton County, Comanche County, you are okay right now. We're not talking about you guys because there's just nothing going on. Duncan, you're in the same boat. Rush Springs, there may have been some sprinkles, but I mean, most of the action is from Schneider towards the west. Hollis now looking to see some heavy rain build back in, but in terms of that severe thunderstorm warning, because yes, it has all been about tornadoes so far this evening. With that said, we can't forget about that hail. 2-inch size hail is what is being with the most recent severe thunderstorm warning, and that is moving towards the east at 20 miles per hour. So they've been pretty consistent about moving eastward at about 20 miles per hour. But the rotation is still a cause for concern, as we do have some very broad rotation just south of the city of Altus, north of Elmer.
Yeah, and that continues to move to the east at about 20 miles per hour. Once again, that circulation over Altus, maybe centered just to the south of Altus. But you notice that this continues to move on to the east. There's Highway 62. There's a center of the circulation on the south side of Altus here. And so you want to go ahead and make sure that you're in your tornado safe spot, because as you saw earlier, if you've been paying attention an hour ago, these things can drop pretty quickly. And you can see the outer extension here. It extends out toward about the Tempton area whenever it comes to the tornado warning that's in effect. And you do notice that if we zoom outward, you notice the Humphreys area. It'll be in your vicinity here in the next 15 minutes or so. Manitou, it'll be in your area here in the next hour or so. But anyways, if we can go ahead and expand outward and take a look at what's going on, and also put on the lightning detector as well, because if you hear lightning in Comanche County and Lawton area, this has been going on all evening. You notice a couple of lightning strikes over here in Comanche County there, and so these lightning strikes are actually going out pretty far, extending pretty far away from the actual storm itself. And
Down into Cotton County too, and parts
in
of
Cotton
Tillman
County as well.
And this was ongoing.
Yes, it's been ongoing all
30,
evening.
45 minutes, an hour ago.
And so you notice that we have these clusters of storms over here, and we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings, one behind it as well to the west, severe thunderstorm warning associated with that. It's been a long time since I checked that one. Why don't we go ahead and check the criteria with this one?
And there's just a quick view of the rainfall rate that is ongoing right now. I mean, Olesi is not seeing any of the rain anymore. Neither is Duke. Northeast of Hollis, Mangum, you're seeing some activity, but the heaviest of the rain is definitely over Altus. It's over Friendship, Blair, Hedrick, and all the way up towards Martha, even as you head closer to Granite and Lake Luger.
Yeah, a lot of heavy rainfall. We also had that flash flood warning that's in effect for portions of southwest Oklahoma, parts of Harmon County here as well.
You said the flash flood warning?
There's a look at the storm hunter over here on the left side of your screen. You notice they're seeing a bunch of heavy rainfall. Night's starting to set in, and so anything that does develop or would develop would be pretty much impossible to see by now.
And the flash flood warning, Barrett, goes technically until 11:30. I mean, some of that particular area has seen 3 inches. An additional 2 inches or so is possible. But I think just because don't let your guard down if you're not in a flash flood warning. I think you still need to be mindful of some of the typical flood-prone areas that flood in your area. You know exactly what I'm talking about as soon as I say that. I mean, the rain is pretty heavy. I'm going to take lightning off real quick just so I can show you some of these heavier rain bands north of Gould, the purples, the whites that we're starting to see filter in. I mean, the north side of Altus, if we zoom in here pretty far, I mean, East County Road 163 all the way up towards, I mean, some of these other, Partridge Lane is seeing a lot of heavy rain. North Flamingo Lane is seeing some pretty decent rain. And again, all of these are also in a tornado warning, but we can't forget about the heavy rain and even the hail sizes that are falling too. Because I mean, that hail core is set up in Altus, and there's also one now towards the west of it, Barrett, that, I mean, Victory just potentially got hit with that tornado. And then we even have more hail that's north of the city of Gould. So lots of very large hail associated with these few storms that we have right now.
Yeah, and these storms are moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour, especially the larger one here over the Altus area. And so you have 3 hail cores right here. You have the largest one here, which is producing up to 2-inch size hail. That's roughly hen egg size or so. Not saying it can't pulse up and down a little bit, but you do notice that another hail core, 2 of them off to the west. So here's the center of the circulation right here on the southeast side of the Altus area, and this is pretty much along State Highway 70 or 62 right now. This right here is the Ozark area. There's the Humphreys area. So if you live in these communities, you want to go ahead and make sure that you're in tornado safe space as we speak right now. And you can see the center of circulation right in there, and this is pretty much going to move right between the Ozark and the Humphreys area. And on correlation coefficient, it's not picking up anything. And so that's definitely good news there. And unless there's something coming from chat, this would still be radar indicated, which is better news than what we were talking about a few minutes ago.
Can we take up Jared's shot and just talk over it real quick? Because, I mean, I was just talking about that heavy rain and just looking over my shoulder really quickly at Jared. I mean, it's kind of hard to make out, I don't know, a quarter of a mile from the road ahead of you with how windy it is. There's a lot of rain. There's rain that's blowing in sideways. I mean, there's lots of winds associated with this right now. You can see some cars are pulled over because of how reduced that visibility is currently right now. And so that's great. If you are out and about and maybe you're listening to us as you're driving, pull over, especially if you are dealing with some of the heavy rainfall. The heaviest of the rain currently is located from north of Altus, north of 62. We're also seeing Gould with a lot of that heavy rain right now. But of course, our main concern this evening is this velocity and that couplet that is trying to tighten. It's not nearly as strong as it was a couple hours, or not even a couple hours ago, an hour ago when that tornado did start. And we're still working on getting some video for you guys about that tornado and why we are still live here on TV. I know we're cutting into scheduled programming, but we're going to stay on here until these tornado warnings do expire and the threat is no longer here across the viewing area. But Altus, if it is a tornado, you've also just seen some very strong winds also moving into the area, and there does appear to be
Yes, it's a flash flood warning that's
Yeah.
now in effect for Altus area. Why don't you go over the criteria with that for us, Lexi?
So the flash flood warning does include Greer, Harmon, and Jackson County. That goes until 3:15 this morning, though it could expire earlier. This is, between 2 and 4 inches of rain has fallen in this area. And with how much moisture and just how much energy is still available in the upper levels, Barrett, I mean, we're still talking an additional 3 inches or so of rain that could possibly still be falling within this darker red polygon. I'll go to radar because it's a little bit easier to see where that flash flood warning is. I mean, but they kind of extended it to include where most of the rain has been falling. Altus, Blair, Olesi, Duke, Gould are now in this warning.
Yeah, it extends almost to the Hendrick area, just to the west of Hendrick there. And once again, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall has fallen. An additional 3 could fall, so that means that you could see twice as much as what you've already seen as of right now. This right here is the main sail as it continues to move to the east at 20 miles an hour. You have a secondary, kind of smaller sail to the west of it. We'll have to keep an eye on as well. Comanche County, Lawton, still in the clear as of right now. The complex of storms here have been moving very slow this evening. We are directly east of this, but once again, we'll see how the overnight or the rest of the evening hours progress. But this activity moving very slowly. You see, it's pretty much the only activity that we have throughout southwest Oklahoma. Let's take a look at North Texas real quick, just make sure nothing's coming in from the southwest. And North Texas is all clear as of right now. So once again, this right here is the focus.
Even zooming out even further, there's nothing down there.
Yeah, so this complex of storms across the Altus area, that's definitely the focus for this evening. And we can go ahead and zoom in back to this complex of storms. And once again, some circulation near the Altus area, moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour. We'll have to watch this sail on the backside right there. But you can see that sail on the backside coming in. You can also see that we do have some shear in the atmosphere here across the Altus area. It's not great shear, but definitely enough to be picked up. And so that could help things out a little bit whenever it comes to the storm. But you notice the high tower area just to the east of the Altus area. And the roads here, some city roads, maybe some state county roads.
North County Road to 2050 is where it's currently over. This extends also to East County Road 166, East Ridge Crest Street as it continues to be moving eastward, and near the area of Libra Street. And East County Road 165 is where that area of rotation currently is.
Yes.
Southwest or southeast of Altus, excuse me.
Yes, yes, definitely. We'll go back to the hail core if we can and see exactly what's happening with that hail core. You notice it's getting in on the east side of Altus right now. Even west Altus, maybe seeing some more hail. You do have a secondary core near the Victory area there, but it even got red. That's
that's exactly
size.
why I paused that and backed that up. I mean, radar is indicating at 8:12. That was only 8 minutes ago, rather. Some baseball-sized hail over the city of Altus. It has since weakened a little bit, but we're still looking at some decent hail size with this particular storm. But it's not just this core. Oh, see, now that's increased the last scan. What is that over?
Looks like a cul-de-sac. That right there is Falcon Road, East Falcon Road, the cul-de-sac. Maybe L Avenue runs into that cul-de-sac as well. That's where we're currently seeing that baseball-sized hail. And so you notice some more city streets to the north of that as well. Some of these are a little bit small, but trying to make them out. But there's the Falcon Road as we speak right there. And this right here is also north, looks like
Tarmac Road.
Parker Road, North Park Lane, it looks like. And so definitely kind of the central and eastern portions of the city of Altus. Here's Hightower and also Ozark. So the hail's starting to get into Hightower and the Ozark and the Friendship area as well. And we do have another update with this severe thunderstorm warning here.
Before we get to that, I do want to mention the Gould storm. That is actually more north of McQueen and south of Russell. They actually are bumping up that storm to also include some baseball-sized hail, as well as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So that is the information on this particular severe thunderstorm warning. And then the latest severe thunderstorm warning.
I think that Jared said that
We want to go
some
ahead.
areas have lost power in Altus. Yes, portions of Altus have no power at this time.
Can we go to his shot?
Do what?
Can we go to Jared's shot? There we go.
So there's Jared's shot right there on the left side of your screen. You notice a lot of rainfall, frequent lightning with it. And if we can go back to the circulation as of right now, there we go. Here's his position right here in the middle of Altus. And you notice the heavy rain and the heavy hill core across the city there. And there's State Highway 62 right in there. And once again, just a lot of heavy rainfall and frequent lightning that you can see with that. If we can go to velocities and see if that has updated any. And you can see that that activity continues to move on to the east. It looks like pretty broad circulation, but the circulation right on State Highway 62, as broad as it may be, the circulation that there is right on State Highway 62. And once again, you can see some gusty winds as this rolls over your area as well. So
if anything, there's a kink right here that would be concerning.
Yeah, so you notice a kink right in there on the south side. And so if you live in these areas, even though this is radar indicated and has not been observed as of yet, you want to go ahead and take those tornado precautions and put that plan into action. Take those precautions as we speak right now. And so you notice this moving to the east at about 20 miles an hour. You also notice how much darker it is on the sky cam there with the Storm Hunter powered by Apache Casino and Hotel. And anyways, this storm continues to move on to the east. So if anything does develop here, you will not be able to see it. It'll be rain wrapped. It'll be dark. So you want to go ahead and take it seriously as well. And if we can go ahead and take a look at the, there we go. Put it in motion. You can see it's moving pretty much a straight east. You can see that the wind shear with this in the upper levels has stayed pretty steady. I wouldn't say that's great wind shear, but it is enough to help things out. And so that's why we have that area of circulation being detected with radar there. Maybe we can go back to the hail cores and see if the hail core is pushed east any. It was over Altus on the east side of Altus, producing baseball-sized hail on State Highway 62. Just east of the Altus area. You do notice another hail core near the Victory area. That hail core could be moving into Altus as we speak right now on the west sides. And so this storm system or this complex of storms has been pretty dangerous for tonight. We're not just talking about a tornado threat, we're talking all modes here. And so you can see the cul-de-sac right in here still producing baseball-sized hail. Baseball-sized hail extends still a little bit to the east of there. That right there is East Falcon Road. And you notice the baseball-sized hail extends a little bit further west as well. Lexi, anything you want to add? Is there anything from the chat, any updates?
Yeah, I got a few different things to mention. So we're still getting that video for you guys about these tornadoes that happened earlier today. We're going to have that here very shortly. But in terms of damage, we do have a mobile home that has been destroyed at Highway 96 and 62. Emergency management, as of right now, does not know any other details aside from the location. Also, this was about less than 5 minutes ago, but PSO is currently estimating only 101 people without power in the city of Altus. Unfortunately, with the way the hail is right now, that number will probably go up by the time this storm is all said and done. When it comes to National Weather Service, any updates there? I mean, we've been having heavy street flooding in Altus, and actually that's from Jared Burke. He is in our first alert storm hunter powered by Apache Casino Hotel, and this is where Jared currently is located, just towards the south of where some of that heavier rain is located, and he's driving east on 62 and even just pulling up rainfall rates over the last 30 minutes. I mean, this core of heavy rain has just kind of stayed in this area. It hasn't moved much. So it's not just Altus, it's probably dealing with some flooding right now. It's also Friendship, it's also Hedrick, it's Blair, it's all the way up towards Mangum, who is seeing some activity. And then, of course, this other storm that is now starting to move. This is affecting Russell as we speak with the heavier rainfall. But in terms of some hail for some of these areas, as we switch to that, it's much of the same. Thankfully, though, it looks like that other core on the backside of this has now weakened some, which is some good news. And then that other core that was affecting Victory, you can kind of see the two different cores there. That has the one that's more west has now met up with the more eastern one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this core here. But Barrett, walk off screen or stay off screen. We do have that video for you of the storms that moved in earlier today that brought us the tornado warnings and why we are still on air.
Go.
So multiple vortices that were observed with this tornado, and this was near Duke, as a matter of fact. And officially, the tornado started at 7:05 rather, and ended at 7:57. So I expect that National Weather Service crews will be coming down here within the next coming days to survey and give us some sort of report as to what the damage is, what size tornado it ranked, whether it was closer to an EF2, maybe an EF3, or maybe just a strong EF1, depending on the damage, of course. But this is why we are still live on TV, folks. The tornado threat has not changed. While the tornado is no longer on the ground and is no longer a very dangerous situation, we still have a couple of active tornado warnings, plus multiple severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yes, and you can also see that the area of circulation here is pretty broad, moving its way to the east. We do have one tornado warning that is radar indicated right here, and as Lexi mentioned earlier, just kind of a swath of severe thunderstorm warnings, and that's basically due to two complexes of thunderstorms, if you will. This right here is kind of the greater one of the two. You notice this activity moving to the Hendrick area as we speak right now, State Highway 62, and you notice there are some it kinks a little bit more on the south side here, so if anything, the circulation's a little bit tighter just south of 62. But nonetheless, we do have an update with that tornado warning there. Alexi?
Yeah, I was trying to, so the Tillman County Emergency Manager said that lowering is trying to get itself together on Highway 5 near Humphrey Road, near the Tillman-Jackson County border.
Okay.
So I was trying to find Highway 5.
Here's the county border right in here.
So it's, Humphreys is right there.
Humphreys is right here. Highway 5 now.
So that area is
right
somewhere within
this
here.
area right in here. Yep. So that's the area that I'm starting to see a little bit of lowering from, that they're most concerned about. But once again, it's still radar indicated right over the Humphreys
Probably
area.
right there, yeah.
And this activity is moving on to the east. And so with the velocities, you can see that activity right there, and also some gusty winds along this as well. Even to the north, some gusty winds. And so you can see winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour in these locations here. But especially if you're in the Humphreys area, you want to go ahead and make sure you're in tornado safe space as we speak right now, as that circulation continues to roll its way to the east there, just south of State Highway 62. And
I'm
if we can
drawing
go
it
back
up
to
for you.
there we go. And so we'll put on a cone here. You notice that getting into the Snyder area here at about 9:09, that's about 40 minutes. And then getting to the Manitou area here in about the next 30 minutes or so. But nonetheless, it really just depends on exactly how this speeds up, how it slows down, because it's been moving east anywhere between about 15 to 25 miles an hour. So its movement has been changing a little bit this evening. So that could vary a little bit. But it does give you an idea of who is in the path of this storm and where this storm is heading for sure. And so this right here is the first kind of complex of storms, really the first supercell, then you have the second supercell behind it. So this right here is what we call a complex of storms, made up of two cells. The first one east toward Altus, and then the second one to the west more toward kind of in between Altus and the Hollis area. But nonetheless, both of these sails moving on to the east very slowly. And as you can see throughout southwest Oklahoma and our whole viewing area for that matter, this area is the primary focus. It's the only activity that we have going on throughout southwest Oklahoma for this evening. And you notice it's been producing a lot of activity for this evening regardless of that. And if you hear a lightning strike or two across parts of Cotton County, Comanche County, the Lawton area, it's because those lightning bolts have been kind of arcing all the way over about 50 miles east of this. So definitely a rare kind of activity or situation, if you will. But you do notice there are two flash flood warnings that are in effect. You have a smaller one here for portions of Harmon, Jackson, Greer County, and then you have a larger one that extends a little bit further on to the east. And the larger one is for 2 to 4 inches of rainfall that's fallen in these outlined areas, with another 3 inches that could fall on top of that. So what you've already received, you could see up to twice that amount. And that's basically just due to the first one rolling through, and then the second one rolling through behind it is probably why they put it that way. But anyways, you notice that things are pretty much completely dark now. Taking a look over to the left side of your screen, so you're not going to see anything. Maybe the hook there maybe increase just a little bit. There's Jared right there, just north of State Highway 62. And if we could go back to velocities real quick and just take a look at what's going on. So you have, okay, this right in here, we're going to have to watch this backside toward Altus once again, but the primary focus still near the Hendrick area and maybe just south of Hendrick right in here. And you can see that there are
heavy winds, strong winds rather.
Okay, so strong winds in these areas. What is the radar estimated wind speed with this particular severe thunderstorm warning?
Oh, not that one.
Okay, I believe it's 60 miles per hour, but
yes, it is.
It is, okay. And so along this right here, you can see wind speeds up to 60 miles per hour, but once again, that notch a little bit more defined over here just to the south side of State Highway 62. And this is moving east at about 20 miles per hour. But once again, it's been varying this evening anywhere between about 15 to 25 miles per hour. And so maybe we can zoom in and take a look at the communities here, see if there's any smaller communities. There we go. So you notice the Timpton area will be in your vicinity here.
Oh, that's a little fast. 1 second. So it's moving east at 15 miles
15?
per hour, not 50. So we're drawing this. There we go.
Okay, so Timpton will be in your area here in the next 15 minutes or so. Snyder, you'll be in your area here in the next 45 minutes or so. Manitou here in the next 50 minutes. And then Odetta here in the next hour, maybe 50 minutes to an hour or so. But these are the communities that are down ahead of this storm system as it continues to move to the east at a slow pace at 15 miles per hour. But you notice about 6 communities here that's kind of downstream from this storm. Maybe we can zoom out a little bit and take a look at the storm behind it, see what's going on behind it, see if it's doing anything different. I'm not noticing any circulation right now, which is good news there. This right here is that second kind of supercell, if you will. Not noticing any rotation there, which is good. You can still see some gusty winds, of course. That's why they have that severe thunderstorm warning associated with that. You also notice that we do have a couple of hail cores here. The more dominant hail core, of course, with the dominant supercell between Altus and Hendrick. That's where you're seeing most of the hail right now. Golf ball, maybe even larger than golf ball size hail being detected with our radar system. And then with the kind of the weaker supercell back behind it, you do have up to about ping pong size hail getting into the Duke area and just south of the Duke area. You notice just kind of a trio of severe thunderstorm warnings associated with this complex of storms. And you notice one radar indicated tornado warning with that. And that's where you're seeing that heavy hail along State Highway 62 as well. And yeah, dew points today have been in low to mid 70s across the area. We have a little bit of a shortwave trough that's moving through from west to east, kind of cross-secting that dry line that's just to the west of us. And that's what has allowed things to kick off for this evening. And as of right now, those isolated discrete supercells have kind of allowed for a kind of conglomeration of a couple supercells to develop this evening, and that's what we have going on right now. You notice a lot of frequent lightning, especially with the first one, more dominant one here, and a little bit of lightning with the one to the west, and some of that lightning has actually been arcing over as far as I-44. So if you live around I-44 and you notice a little bit of lightning outside, don't be surprised. Even though it may be surprising, don't be surprised, because our lightning detection system has been saying that it has been the case this evening, and it is quite rare that it would arc over that far. But anyways, you notice that the wind speeds continue to move to the east here. Wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, radar indicated.
I'm zooming in because there's been some rotation near Tipton, and they're on 183 looking towards Tipton, where they can kind of see some sort of rotation. And if I had to guess, it's probably right in there exactly, where that area that they said, where they see some sort of rotation. So that's why I wanted to zoom in. I mean, as of right now, it does look like most of this activity is becoming more straight line winds than actual couplets producing tornadoes. But whether we have straight line winds or even a tornadic activity, damage is still damage regardless of what it is at the end of the day. So I think for folks that are like Tipton, heads up, because these winds are moving towards your area here, and they're going to continue to be moving east. I mean, Hedrick right now, you're in the thick of seeing, probably half the city is seeing those gustier winds, the other half of the city isn't right now. And then following suit, Snyder, you're behind that, Manitou, you're behind that, and then Tipton, you're on deck to be seeing some of these stronger winds. In terms of other areas of circulation, we really don't have much right now. I mean, yes, we do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings that are behind this, but I want to go back to radar and simply just point this out, because that back storm, I don't know why I keep hitting that button, I apologize, everybody. That back storm is moving a lot faster than it is that front storm. So it's going to be that kind of wait and see here within the next 5 to 10 minutes to see what the storm that's impacting Duke right now is going to do to that strong severe thunderstorm warning, as well as that active tornado warning for places that are seeing lots of heavy rain, which includes the city of Altus. It includes Highway 62. I mean, Duke and Altus have really been the hot spots so far for today for severe weather. There's lots of lightning, and I'm going to toggle lightning off because it can be overwhelming sometimes with just how much lightning there actually is. Also rain, and I'll show you the hail cores in just one moment, but rain seems to be letting up towards the south, but it's still pretty active if you're along and north of 62. I mean, especially towards the towards the east of Altus, directly north of Hedrick. This is towards the east of Friendship and south of Warren. I mean, the whites there is a lot of heavy precipitation, and I know we've been seeing lots of reports of, there's a report of golf ball size hail in Duke. That's what I got confused about. But we've also been seeing lots of reports of flooding concerns too. So those typical flood prone areas, they are going to be impassable there. So just keep that in mind as we do head throughout the day. It looks like we have another video that is ready. It is storm damage. So let's go ahead and take that up now.
Stopped up here. But this whole area right where we are has taken damage, including this house.
So this was from earlier this evening. Do we have a time about when this was? Okay. I want to say around 7:45. Yeah, I want to say it was about 7:45. Yeah, when we had this. This was near Duke, and that's that mobile home that has been destroyed. And then this is because and why we had that damage. This was that tornado that rolled through Duke. It was impacting. It started in Hollis. You know, it kind of just cycled a little bit. It went off and on, and then we just had this picture perfect view of the active tornado that was going through Duke. Unfortunately, as it moved more eastward, it became very rain wrapped, and it was not this easy to see. But I mean, that's a very violent tornado that is on the ground right there. I mean, guessing, I would probably say an EF1 at most. I don't want to speculate and say an EF2, but we'll just have to wait for
It's
the
hard to
National Weather
speculate. I'd
Service.
say
Yeah.
EF1 probably at least, but I really would hate to go there, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll let the National Weather Service do that, and they're a part of the job. We'll let this loop a couple more times, Jason, so people can kind of see what's going on. But that was the damage that happened earlier in Duke, and I believe that was the mobile home that was on 62, and I believe the intersection of 90.
Yeah, that's right. And these mobile homes are actually built, of course, most of us know they're built differently. The actual kind of concrete foundation structures that's built by concrete and brick and whatnot. And so even though you may see some damage to a mobile home, that wind speed may not translate to do the same thing to a building that's made out of brick and kind of nailed down to the ground, if you will, with concrete. And so it's a little bit difficult to speculate, but I'd probably say at least an EF1. But, you know, that's the enhanced Vegeta scale. With the enhanced Vegeta scale, they actually don't just say, okay, like a roof got blown off. What they do is they analyze and inspect how that structure was actually built, and they take how it was built into account of the rating. That's why you have the enhanced Vegeta scale that replaced the old Vegeta scale. And that scale goes from 0 to 5. It doesn't go from 1 to 5, it goes from 0 to 5. And so that just explaining a little bit there about what you saw with the mobile home and then kind of translating that to an actual kind of brick structure. Anyways, here's a look at kind of some updated velocities here. You do notice, like she mentioned earlier, more of a straight line wind scenario moving to the east, but nonetheless, this is tornado warned, and there are a couple of kinks in this, and when then any of those kinks, you could get something to drop down. So this right here is radar indicated.
Just to go over this severe thunderstorm warning, as it does move towards the east at about 20 miles per hour. Right now it is producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is observed because the Altus Mesonet site recorded at 8:25, so about 20 minutes ago, it recorded a 68-mile-per-hour wind gust, and this is moving towards the east at 20 miles per hour, so heads up to Frederick, Tipton, Manitou, and Hess are also involved in this new severe thunderstorm warning. Plus we have damage, and I'm also trying to figure out if that tornado warning is allowed to expire or if it's just being replaced with the severe thunderstorm warning. But you just saw the damage.
It looks like it disappeared.
What was that, Barrett?
It looks like it disappeared. I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, well, with the velocity and the colors, it kind of overlaps, but no, it did drop off.
Yes.
Let me canceling the tornado warning finally. So yes, so that is some good news. We are no longer have any active tornado warnings. Excuse me. We no longer have any active tornado warnings here in Texoma. With that said, we are going to hop off TV and we are going to continue our coverage here on Facebook Live, because we still have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. And if these storms continue to intensify or if they change, then of course we're going to notify everybody, not only just the folks that are watching via our app, but are also watching on TV. But if you want to continue to watch our coverage, hear about these severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing, then please head over to our Facebook page, KSWO 7 News, and we're going to continue to have the latest there. But in the meantime, we're going to get you back to your regular scheduled programming. It's 8:44. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Stay with First Alert 7 Weather. You can count on us.